This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 19th day of March in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. With the two main political parties in Guyana both expressing interest in reforming the country's electoral system, the head of the EU Observer Mission for the 2020 elections believes it is something that the European Union could possibly lend assistance to. In its final report of the March 2020 elections, the EU Observer Group offered 26 recommendations, including constitutional and electoral reform. At a press conference today, the chief observer for the EU team emphasized that the recommendations offered by the Observer Mission seek to prevent a recurrence of what took place at last year's elections.
Well, I think that actually nobody, I mean also in political circles and in your political leadership, is happy about what happened last year. So that I guess they also clearly realize that some changes are needed to avoid once again the situation happening which we saw last year. So that nobody is happy with this what happened.
In the past few days, the head of the EU Observer Mission has been meeting with the government and the opposition on its final report and the recommendations contained in that report.
The European Union delegation is here permanently in Guyana, and of course EU and EU delegation here in Guyana is absolutely open to continue this work. If there is, well, clear wish, also political wish and willingness from your government or from your parliament, for example, then of course we're ready to assist, because especially when it concerns our recommendations, then of course we feel also in this sense responsibility that if on the basis of some of our recommendations Guyana really wants to do something, we absolutely open to continue cooperation and assist the implementation.
The Observer Mission has flagged Guyana's electoral system as one that is of deep concern and one that requires urgent attention before the next elections. Of the 26 recommendations in the report, 8 have been listed as priority areas that need urgent attention, and those include a review of electoral laws, a consultation on the composition of the Elections Commission, and the development of legislation to regulate political financing and the transformation of the state media. The Observer Mission head also said that there must be a clear process for the resolution of disputes related to elections and the urgent update of outdated laws that govern the electoral process.
Massive amount of details. When we look back what happened 2020, then there were also lots of technical problems in final end. The issue also of, as I mentioned, the legal environment, because all the protests and complaints actually should get quicker answers and results, because if we even look further back, 2015 elections, then I guess you all know that the legal disputes about some elements of 2015 elections continued years and years, and well, this is actually not the best practice. So that's why we also propose that there should be this comprehensive election dispute resolution system developed. This is also important, especially when people are excited, are waiting for results, and there are protests or complaints, and to solve them takes too long time.
And on the issue of transparency of the electoral process, the EU officials said there is a very clear need for the tabulation process of the election results to be much more transparent.
And in this regard, I'm really a bit optimistic that at least some of our recommendations also will be implemented, especially when I speak about the fact that today it's quite complicated for voters, also even for politicians, to understand every and each element in your electoral legal environment, because it's spread all over in different laws. So that I guess for clarity at least, for voters and also for political actors, it should be wise to have one clear, concrete electoral law where everything will be described what concerns elections and procedures and so on.
The final report revisits the Region 4 declarations that were made by the returning officer and its difference to the statements of poll that political parties had in their possession. Moving forward, the EU team believes there must be a genuine commitment from the political players to ensure changes are made to improve the country's electoral system. On Monday, the EU team will hold a consultation with stakeholders on their final report and Guyana's electoral system. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people, we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
That gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
At Sosh Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sosh Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
Believe in the science. Take your pills, prevent yourself against filaria. I just took my pills, and I'm encouraging all of you to take yours as well.
Contributions online? Simply visit our website at www.nis.org.gy. Click on the Create New Account button and enter the required information. An automatic email notification will be sent to acknowledge your application. Once your information is authenticated, you will receive an email within 48 hours with instructions on how to access the site. Once logged in, you can click on the My Contributions tab on the left side of the screen to view your contributions. For further information, you can call our records department on 225-2798 or visit your nearest NIS office.
Go spread the word in your area. We gonna end filaria.
For the past 2 decades, the global community prioritized eliminating lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as filaria, as a public health problem. Many countries in the Americas have achieved this goal.
We're looking to have 100% eradication of this disease in Guyana.
So we look forward to all of our citizens working with our teams, but in the Ministry of Health, as they go around in our communities, meeting with you to administer this pills.
And I will encourage you all to take your pills so that we can once and for all rid Guyana of filariasis.
We have to get rid of the negatives in relation to filaria. So please let the science be your guide and take the tablets.
My family would be taking their pills. I do hope that you would also be taking your pills so that we can together work on eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Filaria gonna get knocked out. TKO.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. Leader of the opposition Joe Harmon has written to the chairman of CARICOM, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago, expressing several of the concerns of the opposition about the current state of governance in Guyana. In the letter which carries yesterday date, Mr. Harmon told Dr. Rowley that it was necessary for him to raise what he sees as acts by the PP civic government, which are inconsistent with good governance, alleging that the government has led the country into some sort of dictatorship. Mr. Harmon said he has written a number of letters pointing out Guyana's slide into a state of dictatorship under the current government, and he regrets to advise that rather than an abatement, there has been a deliberate intensification of the slide. The opposition leader said President Irfan Ali continues to refuse to meet with the parliamentary opposition on the grounds that he must be first recognized publicly as president by the opposition leader. He said the president's decision not to engage the main opposition is inflammatory, unacceptable, undemocratic, and a cop-out. Mr. Harmon also referred to the CARICOM Election Observer Report, which had encouraged political parties to close the ethnic divide and begin a healing process. He said he supports that recommendation. The CARICOM chairman was also told that an agreement must be reached on several national issues, which include the updating of Guyana's elections laws, the need for there to be additional focus on poverty and the plight of the poor, and the protection of Guyana's sovereignty and national patrimony, and COVID-19. Harmon said the government has been involved in victimization and ethnic marginalization. The government has rejected those accusations. The Ministry of Health today announced that it is currently monitoring the Region 4 communities of Diamond on the east bank of the Marara and Kitty here in Georgetown for a cluster of new coronavirus cases. There are currently more than 400 active coronavirus cases in Region 4. And according to the Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, a number of communities in Region 3 are also being monitored.
But we have seen, with the increases of cases that we've been getting, we are seeing most of that increase occurring in Region 4. So we have right now close to 420 active cases in Region 4. And in Region 4, in the area of Diamond, we have seen a number of cases in Diamond, a cluster of cases in Diamond. And we have also seen a cluster of cases in Kitty. So these are two areas that we are monitoring because of these clusters that we have identified. The next region that is on our radar is really in Region 3, where we have seen a number of cases there as well. But their cases are more diffuse, with one or two cases in different areas, and that's nevertheless we are looking at it because as an aggregate, in Region 3 we have seen quite a number of cases.
Meanwhile, the health minister announced today that the national rollout of the coronavirus vaccine is progressing well. More than 15,000 persons have already been vaccinated with their first shots. And the ministry is encouraging other persons who are 60 years and older to ensure they get their vaccines.
So to date we have done 15,524 immunization across the country. I think it's going well. I think more and more people are coming out.
In the past 24 hours, Guyana has recorded 44 new cases of coronavirus. There are 9 persons in the COVID-19 intensive care unit tonight. 9 companies have pre-qualified for the design, building and financing of the new Demerara Bridge. Bidders for the project will now be expected to submit bids in 3 months, which will result in a preferred bidder being selected. Once that is done, construction could begin by the end of this year. The Ministry of Works has indicated that the bidders have been advised that they will be required to bid on 2 options, a design, build and finance option and a design, build, operate and finance option. The pre-qualification of bidders followed the invitation by the government for expressions of interest. More than 50 companies initially expressed an interest in the project, but many of them did not meet the December deadline for the submission of the relevant documents to move the process forward. The majority of companies that have pre-qualified for the project are foreign companies, and they are the China State Construction Company, the Ballast Needham Infrastructure Company of Suriname, the China Gizabon Company of China, the JV China Railway International Company, the JV China Road and Bridge Corporation, the JV OEC South American Company, and the JV China Railway Construction Corporation, along with Buscalis Guyana and JV Rizzani from Italy and Barbados. A 16-year-old young man appeared at a magistrate's court at Sparendam today and was charged with the murder of 10-year-old Anthony Court during the course of a robbery at a home in Sophia. The teen has been in police custody since last Friday, as the investigation was launched into the shooting death of the 10-year-old boy in Sophia days before. The 16-year-old was the only person arrested and charged in connection with the crime. His identity and other details about him cannot be made public because of his age, in keeping with the law. During the court appearance today, the teenage murder accused was not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge. He has since been remanded to the Juvenile Detention Center, where he is expected to remain until his next court appearance in May. The 10-year-old boy who was murdered was with his mother at the home of a Sophia businesswoman when 2 armed bandits stormed into the house and robbed the occupants of their money and jewelry. The young boy, who was in the upper flat of the building throughout the robbery and the bottom flat, was shot to the chest as he emerged from a room as the bandits took their attack to the upper flat. The 2 bandits bolted from the scene, leaving the bleeding young boy behind. The lad was taken to the Georgetown Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead. A total of 7,689 marijuana plants were destroyed by the police today in the swamplands that back the village of Yarro Cabra on the Linden-Suzdijk Highway. No one was found at a large farm, but the police force reported that all of the plants were destroyed by fire. Some of the plants measured between 3 to 5 feet in height. It took the lawmen more than 5 hours to complete the operation. The police force said it was unable to mark off the location to determine land ownership, since the equipment for marking off was not available at the time of the operation.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people, we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive. Go spread the word in your area. We gonna end filaria.
For the past 2 decades, the global community prioritized eliminating lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as filaria, as a public health problem. Many countries in the Americas have achieved this goal.
We're looking to have 100% eradication of this disease in Guyana. So we look forward to all of our citizens working with our teams, but in the Ministry of Health, as they go around in our communities, meeting with you to administer this pills.
And I will encourage you all to to take your pills so that we can once and for all rid Guyana of filariasis.
We have to get rid of the negatives in relation to filaria. So please let the science be your guide and take the tablets.
My family would be taking their pills. I do hope that you would also be taking your pills so that we can together work on eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Filaria gonna get knocked out. TKO.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
Namaste, greetings from the Indian High Commission here in Georgetown. I would like to request all of you to please actively take part in the filaria elimination campaign by the Government of Guyana and the Department of Health in Guyana. Filaria is a disease which is easily preventable and you need to take prophylaxis, and the Ministry of Health is sending its workers, its doctors and its frontline workers with the tablets to your destinations, and I request you all to please help them to eradicate filaria in Guyana. Thank you.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19 across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
Across the region right now, the World Bank has approved $25 million as a first COVID-19 response and recovery development policy credit for Dominica. This is Dominica's first World Bank budget support operation, and it is the first in a series of 2 quick disbursing credits. The operation aims to support Dominica's COVID-19 response to save lives, livelihoods, and jobs, while laying the foundation for longer-term economic recovery. It is aligned with the country's National Resilience Development Strategy and COVID-19 response strategy. The Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Scarrett, said the pandemic has once again highlighted the importance of increasing the country's resilience. The government of Dominica, he said, is focused on first saving lives, protecting livelihoods and preserving jobs, and next on strengthening fiscal policies, public financial management, and debt transparency for a strong and resilient recovery. The Prime Minister added that the government of Dominica is fully committed to the reforms under the operation of the credit, which is timely and will help Dominica to build back better in a sustainable way. Barbadians have been assured that there are enough second doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine available to inoculate everyone who already received their first dose. The coordinator for the National Vaccination Program in Barbados, Major David Clark, explained that persons need not worry since the second doses for the first phase of the vaccine program were placed in storage. He said they will be administered to those persons who already had their first shot. Major Clark further pointed out that health officials are currently only using available first doses as they continue the vaccination program. The rollout for the administration of the second dose of the vaccine is expected to start from the 17th of April. Based on scientific information, the second dose is best given 10 to 12 weeks after the first to achieve greater efficacy. Barbados has already vaccinated more than 55,000 of its citizens. And finally tonight, international news. At least 13 persons have been killed in an ambush on a police convoy by a suspected criminal gang in central Mexico. The victims were all police officers and agents from the state prosecutor's office, officials have confirmed. The ambush happened at Coatepec, Jardines, a municipality in the state of Mexico. Images posted on social media showed bullet-riddled police vehicles and bodies lying by the side of the road. No group has so far said it carried out the attack. The state of Mexico, which borders the capital Mexico City, is home to various criminal gangs and is one of the most violent regions in the country. Last year, more than 500 police officers were murdered in Mexico. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Have a safe weekend.